So on this old Mercedes, it just came in. It was somewhere where they just put the retrofit fittings on, and they shot a can of splooge inside there, trying to fill up the customer's AC by using the jerk off shake the can method. And when it got into the heat, it didn't work right. And when it was cool, it was working. When it was hot, it did not work, because of course they used the circle jerk method. That's the temperature of the compressor. 185 degrees discharge temperature coming from the compressor. And that's what happens when you use the circle jerk off method with the can and splooge the load in there. On the lower temperatures it cooled, but when the customer drove away and the next day when it got hotter, it didn't cool so good. And right now it's only 77 degrees and it's 185 degrees discharge temperature. And I can tell you for a fact, if this customer drives outside in the sun and when it gets hotter into the 90s plus, that discharge compressor off the compressor will soar way over 200, 250, 260, something like that. And the customer unknowingly goes, well, I don't have time to take it in, I'll do it later, and the compressor keeps running hotter and hotter. Oil leaves the compressor, gets stored up in the evaporator, doesn't return. The compressor keeps getting hotter because now it's lack of oil. Customer keeps using it because he wants some air all over his face, and he believes even a little cooling is better than no cooling, so he keeps running the compressor until you get the failed shaft seal, the failed clutch, or the failed compressor. Congratulations to the circle jerk guys who use the little jerk off cans, because he is a mechanic, and they would have used their electronic leak detector. They would have found the leak that is down at the original OEM expansion valve down inside here. And at least they're good enough to have a can with some of the UV dye. Even kind of see the leak down at the bottom of the expansion valve, that little circle down there. There's an O-ring where they do the superheat adjustment on the valve of the expansion valve, and they're notorious for leaking when they get old. But this is another case. The circle jerk guys who jerk off with their little cans, and they're supposedly professionals from shops. And yeah, let's see if we buy a compressor for this customer too by doing that.